Hi guys, I'm now sitting at PJM Security. I'm sitting with Mr. Patrick Malon, who runs the show here in Harare, Zimbabwe, and he's got security operations running throughout the country. He also owns J10 Campsite and another load of businesses throughout Zimbabwe, accommodation, all sorts of things. So I'm going to introduce you to Patrick Malon. He's going to then just give a bit of background and history on PJM, what he's doing, his start and where he is now and what his future interests are. And it's also a thank you from me to him because he offered a great service last year, which I'll give a bit of a testimonial regarding the necessary service of PJM Rescue on Lake Kariba, and give you a little bit more information about that. So Patrick, thank you so much, first of all, for your offerings. He also sponsored me at J10 Campsite, the one that I revealed to you, near Nyamunga in Kariba. So Patrick, could you just tell us a little bit more about yourself and a little bit more about PJM and your entire repertoire, because you're pretty extensive throughout the country, and I can see that you run very, very efficient services. Actually, everything seems to be so neat cut. It's very professionally done. So guys, this is Patrick. Say hi.
Morning everyone. PJM is the initials of my name, which is Patrick John Malon. I've been in the security industry for about 30 years, running my own operation as PJM for about 10 or 12 years now. We've got a retail outlet for security products, and then we supply installers and other wholesalers. We've got a rapid response service, which primarily is for the northern suburbs, and then we've also got the rescue boat, PJM Rescue, which was a project that I wanted to do after my father had a fatal accident in Kariba. So it's along the lines of a community based project. Yes, it does need to pay the bills, but it's more of a community thing. I've got local captains, Dean Kloppers, who's up there, and Quinton LaRue, and Craig Hall, and Vengi. So we've got a crew of captains. We've got some doctors up there, local Kariba doctors that are very well experienced, and we've got some nurses and ambulance technicians, and we've got Vanswell, who's like the crew master. So the boat remains in the water but unmanned, but ready to go at all times, making use of the local Kariba resources. In more serious cases, we do have an arrangement where once you've been stabilized and sorted, we can take you to the nearest airfield, and then you can be flown out by medical air evacuation to whichever facility you decide. So in essence, that's it. We also run, because I've been up in Kariba working a while, I built a little tented camp, mainly for myself. And then it sort of expanded. People wanted to stay, and I built another one, and if that one works, then we'll build another one. And we've got a campsite, obviously for local guys and for all the people doing 4x4 tours across the country. I think Kevin's been there. It's fairly nice. I certainly like it. I think Kevin liked it. So it's there to be used. It's not a high-end facility, but it does have all the basic essentials. In short, that's it. We run a multi-service sort of industry primarily in the security and safety industry. Just going back to the response, our response is a little bit different from everyone else because we provide security, medical and fire all under one roof. So we have our own security crews, plus the ambulance, plus 2 fire tenders that go along with that. So it is a very unique service that we offer.
Yeah, thank you very much, Patrick. I can vouch for it. Absolutely, I've had first-hand experience. Before I get to my testimony, I just want to just get a bit more from Patrick about some of the other testimonials or experiences that they've had. A little bit more in terms of how long the rescue boat service has been going. If you could just give us a little bit more on that, and any other experiences that have had that could validate your services, because it is necessary on Kariba. It's a big lake, 280 kilometers long, number of miles wide, about 32 or something like that, so quite extensive. And I can see that there's actually more room for other boats as well.
Yeah.
That's the plan. Even bigger boats,
Yeah.
slightly, obviously, to manage further distances, some of those waves,
Yeah.
that wind picks up, etc. I can certainly see that there's room for growth there too. So a little bit more on that, please, Patrick.
Sure, thanks very much. The rescue boat has basically gone live for 2 years now. We started at 2023 Tiger Tournament when we first launched, and we provided the rescue services for that, and then it's grown from there. Kevin was actually one of the very first people who sent a distress call. Just via word of mouth, people knew what I was doing, and the boat actually wasn't ready by the time Kevin called in. So with the crew that we had already had prepared, Dean Kloppers used his own personal boat to go and take the doctor out and attend to Kevin. But after Kevin's event, we then went live. So we've done the Tiger Tournament rescue there. We've had another lady who stopped breathing on a houseboat, and we successfully resuscitated her and stabilized her. She was then flown out the next morning. We've had a man overboard. Unfortunately, he was not found at the time, and he did end up drowning, but was recovered a few days later. We've had some other people that are requiring minor sort of stitches. We've had another guy whose stomach burst open again on a houseboat, and we've been across to collect them, and then a few leg injuries that have happened. Of interest, all of these calls have actually been at night time, which makes navigating the lake quite difficult. And testament to Dean and the other captains for being able to navigate the lake at night. The boat is equipped with a radar, so it does make it a little bit safer. But most of these incidences seem to happen at night time and not during the day. So this year, 2024, we were actually a silver sponsor at the Tiger Tournament, and we did a number of boat recoveries where people had broken down and had various boating problems. And then on the last day, again there was another capsizing of some fishermen. We attended the scene. We managed to recover some property and the boat, and 3 people, and then 2 people were unrecovered, but were later recovered 2 days later. So it is an essential service, and I think what Kevin may or may not testament to is when you're out in the wilderness and it's very remote and there's no help and you're in a lot of pain, it really is a panic situation, which is what I actually experienced with my father's incident. When there's no help and there's something really wrong, you really do need some help as quickly as possible. I don't think people can rely on the air service only, because those planes don't land on the water. So you need to be able to get off the water to the nearest airfield in order to get the thing. So some people say, no, I've got medical air rescue coverage, which is great, but it doesn't really solve the problem. So we fill that little gap between the place of the incident and the aircraft arriving. The other thing is aircraft don't land at night in Kariba, so the patient does need to be looked after, stabilized, sorted out until the aircraft can arrive. We've just changed our packages from a daily temporary membership to an annual membership, and also resorts and lodges and other camps and houseboats can have an annual membership. I think it's $600 a year for a lodge or a houseboat, and that covers absolutely everybody on the boat. So that's what we've tried to do to try and help out a bit more. Like I said, it's not a full commercial operation. It's a project that we wanted to do to make sure people didn't end up in the same situation as my father. So that's sort of the history of the rescue boat. We started off the boat. I bought it secondhand, modified it ourselves in our workshop with our crew, and it had 2 Johnson engines on it, which created a few frowns. They were also quite thirsty on fuel. So this year we put on 2 brand new engines, Yamahas, 4-stroke engines, and it's also further increased its range. So we can get right up to Binga and back if necessary. So those are the changes that have taken place in the last year. We continue to pride ourselves as being able to offer a first-class service, and on our website www.pjmzim.com there are some testimonials from people that we've been able to assist up there. Thanks, Kev.
Thank you, Patrick. Yeah, you know, when I went up there last year, I took my family up on a houseboat, the Philadelphia, lovely crew, etc. But the day before we embarked, I had a quad bike accident, and not knowing at that time, I knew something was very serious. But me being me, having paid a lot of money, having brought my family out to Zimbabwe for their first experience on a Kariba trip in a houseboat, I obviously went on the boat in a lot of pain, but by the Thursday, that was a Sunday we embarked, by the Thursday I really was in way too much pain to be able to move, and I'd never known any pain like it. I had no idea of a rescue service up there, so I was very worried. The Captain Dixon made a call, and it wasn't actually very long that it was at 10 o'clock at night. Dean Kloppers did drive out Dr. Tafara, who treated me, gave me pethidine. It helped to a degree. It helped me just to stabilize just till the morning. Then the morning I had to have the morphine and then get through to Harare. But to navigate in the dark to where we were, to precisely meet us at the time, the guys know the lake. Dr. Tafara is a trauma doctor, knows what he's doing, and I tell you right now, if it hadn't been for that, I had no idea how I was going to ever be able to get off that boat. So thank you to PJM Rescue and the team. I've met many of the guys, can certainly vouch for them and validate it. And anybody who's listening, please do use their services. It is necessary, and definitely there is room for growth and expansion. So thank you to Patrick, thank you to your team. Thank you. I'm here today. I'm able to enjoy the comforts of treated bones, things working as they should, and much happier and in a much better state to have this conversation. So thanks to PJM and to Patrick and his team. So thank you, guys. So listen up, everybody. Keep following, and also there's checked out his security services as well. They're on a button. They got their thumbs on the pulse. So very well done. Nice to see that professionalism in Zimbabwe. Keep it up. All right, Patrick. Thanks you.
Very much,
all right. Cheers.
Yeah. Thanks very
Cheers,
much.
guys.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, everybody. Thank you. Ciao.